Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with another episode here of Unconventional Connections. I always have to pause to say the name because it's not that I forget. It's just, it's a good name, right? But it's like a little bit. Anyways, point being, it's your host today, Beto, as always, or also known as Big Juicy. But anyways, that's a whole story. There's lore to that name, but we'll talk about it some other day. Um, anyways, so today, as always, I'm joined with Isidro and Mike, my
Hello.
co-host.
What's up? What's up?
Beautiful, handsome men. And today's topic is gonna be the housing industry. Yay, much fun,
Yeah,
adult
woo.
stuff. And I
Three
and I say that because of
millennials. Three millennials,
I've been
like three millennials that can't afford housing. Wait, are you guys? No, Mike, you're not millennial, right? You're like,
I'm technically like I'm like in between. I think there's this age range or the year range for millennials, and then there's like a age range for Gen Z, and then there's like a couple of years that are like just right in the middle that are kind of like this in between. And I think that's where I fall under.
yeah, I think you're like, you're technically
Yeah.
Gen Z, but you're so close to millennials. Like you're so early
Yeah.
Gen Z, and I think
Yeah.
we're late millennials, right, Beto?
yeah, I was born in '96.
Yeah, same.
So
So I think we're like the
yeah.
last of the millennials, and then you're like
Yeah,
the first of Gen Z. So
97,
there's that
yeah. So I'm like
overlap.
first.
I've
Yeah.
seen I've seen memes where it's like the Jedi Council in one of the movies, and it's Anakin, right? And it says like 96 millennial or something like that, or like 90 through whatever millennial. It's like we'll grant you the title of millennial, but we're not consider you a millennial or some shit like that. Like it's funny.
Yeah.
But anyways, a couple weeks ago I had made a comment about how crappy the housing market is, and I had mentioned that I was going to talk about that in my opinion, what that is. As far as I know, the housing market. Okay, this app can just go to hell at this point because I'm not even going to bother with it. Apparently the housing market is the business of houses. That's what I understood. In my honest opinion, I don't think housing should be a business. I think everybody should have the right to be able to have a home and afford a home to live in. And when I mean home, like I'm talking about like the essentials, right? We're talking about being able to store your food, being able to sleep, being able to shower, being able to use the restroom. And we have a special guest.
Yeah,
What's
it's
going
Nick
on over
again.
there?
Nick making an appearance again.
Yeah. By the way, guys. First on the channel. This is a thing, an invitation my brother made for my nephew's first birthday.
Oh my god. That's so sick. I want one.
That's actually, bro.
I mean to blur out the address.
Oh
Great,
yeah,
Mike. Now you made Isidro have more work.
the address.
Consider it.
Damn. Well,
I'll make
Anyway.
sure to censor it. I'll just put a black box
Yeah,
on your thing
be
for like the
fine.
first
Yeah.
minute.
yeah.
From the first minute. I can't believe we just started and we're already getting interrupted. I hope I don't get phone calls right now because I'm gonna be so mad. But anyways, the point being, like I was saying, I really don't. I believe that everybody should have the affordable housing. You know what I mean? I don't understand why people are like, oh, I'm gonna buy 40 freaking houses or 2-3 houses and then rent them for a ridiculous price. It makes no damn sense to me. I get it; it's a business and people, they want to make their money or whatever. But I feel like certain things should not be a business or should not be at the expense of more than just money. You know what I mean? Because like it sucks. Like I'll tell you right now, I moved out of the house I think 2 to 3 times now, and the only reason why I've had to always come back is because rent just went up, or because the last time was because I got injured and I couldn't afford it. But then a year after I left, instead of paying $500-$600 for the room, not even of an apartment, the room that I was in, they jacked it up from $600 all the way to $900. So it's $300 increase, dude. I have no idea why they did that or how they even did that, because apparently it's illegal in some areas or
Yeah,
something like that.
there's like a rent control. There's like a
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, it doesn't matter anymore, because I think what happened with the house was the owner sold it, so now it's not even, because I used to rent not directly from the owner but from this agency, and then the agency would talk straight to the owner. And so the agency made its own contract, but one of my friends that was living in the house had a contract with the owner. So the owner, they made a 5-year deal or something like that, where the rent was going to be like $500 or something like that. And then all the the other 3 rooms, those were handled by the agency, and the agency was like, oh no, like we need money out of this house. So because of that, that contract with the original owner, they're like, oh well, there's 3 rooms. We're gonna make up for that one contract that we can't touch until at the end of whatever. So
Yeah.
you best believe, as soon as that contract was over, they were like, yeah, we're gonna go from 500 all the way to 900 again because you've been here for 5 years and there's this and that. So they try to BS him, and he's like, nah, I'm just gonna go somewhere else. So instead of paying 900, I think he's paying like 700 now, which is what, like $200 less than 900, which is still the fact that you have to budget and like survive. I get it, but I don't think it's a business. I don't think it should be a business to be like, oh, hey, you need to work 60 hours a week just to rent one room or just to rent a 1-bedroom apartment. Because in the Riverside area and like the other areas around, or in the Riverside County, last time I heard, it was like 2,000 per 1-bedroom, 1 bath, and like one little stall for you to park your car. And it's just like, who on minimum wage makes enough to pay for that? You know what I mean? And like, I don't want to get too much into politics and economics because that's not my forte, and like, I really don't care for it. At the end of the day, I'm still gonna get screwed. Like, I'm sorry to say it like that, but like, unless we really riot for the right reason, like, we won't really get anywhere. But politics are not my thing. Why did I do that? Politics are not my thing. I can't really get behind it because I just think a lot of negative things about politics, so I'd rather not. But with that being said, here, the place that I'm staying here with my mom. I'm in the garage, and she made me a room. So what I want to do, and then segueing into one of my few questions was going to be like, if you could choose, if you had the money to buy a house, buy a condominium, or even just rent. I'm assuming you guys are gonna want to buy your own house. You wouldn't want to rent. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
That's just common sense. Like, nobody wants to rent. It makes no sense to rent. Like, it's like, oh, I can at any minute get kicked out of here. Okay, that kind of sucks. But if you own something, it'll be better, right? Me personally, I always wanted to own something small. I never wanted a big old house because then that implies I have to do the lawn. I have to do the lawn. But yeah, the lawn. You have to cut the grass and like keep the house clean, like the entire house. And if it's just you by yourself, that's your whole weekend right there. Like, you gotta wake up early as hell on Saturday, do all the chores outside, go inside and do all the chores inside again, and on top of laundry, cooking for yourself and other things. It's too much. So for someone who's single and is lazy as shit like me, I much rather own a small house, like a small condominium. Simple 1 bedroom, simple shower, simple kitchen, XYZ. Not a lot of outside space because I don't need it. I'm never outside. But yeah,
You vampire can't see the
no,
sun.
yeah, I swear to God, I am. Yeah, that's why I'm so pale. But yeah, so I want to hear from you guys. What would you guys prefer? Like, do you guys have family you guys rather live with, or would you guys rather? Because one of the things that you could do, for example, Mike, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I know that it's your parents and your brothers and stuff like that. So I'm assuming for you, I mean, for you by yourself, wouldn't you want to have like your own space, like your own, like, be left alone and stuff? Like Isidro, I'm assuming the same thing. The 3 of us have a different situation here because Mike, not to put him on blast, but Mike has 2 other brothers, and I know it can get a little tense when it's like a lot of like testosterone in the house. Kind of that's the best way I can say it. Like, I don't know how else to say it. With Isidro, as far as I know, is just his mom and his sister, and I feel
just
with
me and my
Isidro
mom
because
here. My sister has her own place in TJ.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool. See. So now that the dynamic here changes because now it's like I wouldn't want Isidro to leave his mom alone. You know what I mean? But if I could, no, I'm kidding. No, it's because here in my house, it's my sister, my mom, my sister, and me. So if I was to leave, it wouldn't be a big deal here. It wouldn't be a big problem. I would just have my own place, and I would love to because every single time that I had my own place, nobody talked to me, nobody like bothered me, everybody left me alone. And if I needed to be with someone, I could just show up to the house and be like, "Yo, I'm here, hi," and then we would just hang out. My mom or my sister would cook, and we would just kick it. You know what I mean? Especially now that I have a car, I can go to my older sister's house, or I could come here to the house. Either wherever I live, I would be able to drive here.
Yeah.
But would you guys? What kind of property would you guys prefer to own?
Well, it all depends on like the situation I'm in. Because like right now, I'm single. I don't have a family, So I don't need
That's
this lot of space. I'm perfectly fine with my apartment that I have right now because it's just me and my 2 cats. My mom, she does whatever she wants. I don't really, I'm not really checking in on her. She's not checking in on me. If she comes or she doesn't come, just kind of like, hey, are you gonna, just a quick message. Hey, are you okay? Yeah, okay, cool. Have fun. Do whatever you want to do. Same thing with me. She's like, are you okay? Yeah, okay. Checking in on you, making sure you're okay. That's it. We just both do our own things. The most I do is like ask my mom, can you feed my cats for me today? And that's it. We really don't. There's no really. We do talk like all the time because we're all we have. We're friends, but there's like really
yeah.
nothing really. I don't really need anything more right now than this. If I do have a
Mhm.
partner and start a family, then yeah, maybe I'll need another room. But right now, I'm okay. I don't really need much more than I have too many things that I don't know what to do with. So if I just have more
Yeah.
space, I'm just gonna have to. I'm gonna want to fill that in with some other way. So that's where I am right now. So like right now that I'm single, I'm okay with staying in this apartment for the long term. Once if I find someone, then maybe I can start looking into possibly trying to buy something. I know we looked into moving out of the state because San Diego's like a really expensive city to live in. It's like the ninth most expensive city in the US.
Yeah, it is.
So we
It's all
did look
bougie and
into
whatnot.
moving out to like Illinois, Texas, Arkansas. We looked into that, seeing what it would be like to move out to more eastward, and just kind of because right now I'm finishing, and also that's another thing. I'm finishing school for my master's. I do
That's
not,
hot.
I do not
Sorry.
have the time, or it will be a bad move to move now when I'm so close to
Yeah.
finishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea you were finishing your master's. You know what's funny? I was thinking about going back to school for a different bachelor's and then go towards my master's and
Mhm.
just get in debt because what else am I gonna do in life? Welcome to America where all you do is get in debt.
Yeah,
That's good for you, dude. I didn't. Well, what are you finishing it on, or what are you doing your master's on?
marriage and family therapy.
That's hot. That's
Yeah, so
hot.
I
I love
have
that.
like two
They make
classes
good money
left.
actually.
2 classes left before I start my internship, so I should be done by next year, like October, if everything goes well.
Nice.
So
That's my
Nice.
birth month. Yeah.
yeah,
That's my birthday present from you to me. Like, oh hey, you got your master's. I'm happy for you. Give me some happiness. Well, a little something before Mike, before
Yeah.
you know your piece. I do want to point out that what Isidro said about having a partner and like the dynamics of your life are very important because when I was by myself, and I'm assuming when you guys were by yourselves in at school, it was very very different dynamic with yourself and your family because even though well the last time I moved out, even though I had a car and I could just show up whenever I wanted to the house, I didn't because why would I? Like, there's nothing there for me to do outside of just get yelled at and be told to do something, and it's like I'd rather not. I'd rather just spend my time away from that.
yeah,
I do remember though that I would feel nostalgic or like just sad because haven't seen my mom, right? So
Yeah.
I'll go like half a month or 2 weeks, right? Go without seeing my mom and be like, damn, I want to go see my mama. And then as soon as I think about that, she'll call me and she'll be like, hey, you have mail here. Not even, oh, how are you? How's work? Blah, blah, blah. How's your life? Did you do your life? No, nothing. It was like, hey, you have mail here. Come pick it up. No, ironically, it's my day off. I'm going to go pick it up. Oh, okay, cool. So you can come help me do this. Now I'm like, no, I'm going to go pick up my mail. Bye. And I show up, grab my mail, and I see the house is just how I left it. And then my mom, because my mom's really like I love my mom and everything, but she's really like demanding. So she wants something done. She's not gonna ask. She's gonna tell you to do it. You know what I mean? She's gonna
Yeah.
like wedge her way into it. But I think what Isidro said about having a partner and stuff like that, that's a dynamic that you really have to like watch out for because there's people that get with you just because they want to get away from their house. So they much rather just move in with you, be with you, and then not want to do anything. They just want to be away from their house. I had to find out the hard way about that with my main previous relationship. And I was talking to a friend about him wanting to move out of his house because his mom doesn't like his girlfriend. Go figure, right? La suegra and shit, right? So his mom doesn't like his girlfriend, and his dad is an alcoholic, and he just doesn't want to deal with that. I like how I'm airing out my friend's business and shit, as long as I don't say his name. Anyways, long
Yeah,
story
those
short,
names.
so long story short, this guy, we're gonna call him Jonathan. Is that his name? No, I'm kidding. Imagine. No, it's
Let me make sure
so we're
someone's
gonna
saying
call
his
him.
name.
Wait, was it John or Jonathan? Anyways, no, it's so my friend Jonathan. He's cool. He's a hardworking dude, but he's very like,
I always find those so
oh
funny.
well.
Sorry to interrupt. I always find those so funny when they're like those Reddit posts, like this person, we're gonna call him Margaret. And it's like, does it really matter what you call him? Like, we don't know who they are. We're not gonna even if we go look
know what's
up
funny?
for some Margaret, some random 25-year-old Margaret. There's probably hundreds of them without a last name. Like, so that whole we're just gonna call them this is so pointless. Like,
Mira,
who cares
the
what
reason
their
why
name is?
the reason look, one time I was telling my mom a story, right? And I told her, I don't want you to find out who it is. So I'm gonna give you a different name, a name that none of my friends, if you hear this name, that's not really his name. And I said Andres, right? I have like 4 different friends that are called Andres, and I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't think about that. So when I told her the story 3 days later, I was like, "Oh yeah, my friend Andres did this, nothing to do with the story." And she's like, "Isn't that the same dude that said this is?" And I'm like, "How do you know?" And she's like, "You told me a story," and I was like, "You're not supposed to know that. Forget about that." Like that. I fucked up. But no, so this dude Jonathan, he wants to move out of his house, but his girlfriend doesn't want to work. She doesn't want to do anything, but she's the one that wants to move out into an apartment.
Mhm.
So I was telling him, dude, it's better for you to kick her back into her parents' house. You'd be at peace because now your mom stops bitching and your dad, well, he's still gonna be an alcoholic. That's up to you to deal with.
That's
But
a different story.
it's the, but
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
but like but the mom nagging and bitching aggravates the dad. You know what I mean? So I told him, look, sometimes just staying at home is something you gotta do. I said, well, yeah, but and then I get it. Adult stuff happens when you have a partner and you have a place to do it in. I get it. The no pants dance or whatever. I get it. For those of us who have gone through relationships, and I get it. You don't want to go and pay for a hotel. Like I get it. It's expensive.
Yeah.
So I told him, like, is that really that important to you that you much rather just deal with this crap that you're going through? He's like, well, yeah, well, she doesn't want to get a job. She doesn't want to move out. She just wants to be here. And it's like, okay, well, you need to figure out what you want to do because it's your future as well. It's not just hers, it's yours as well.
Mhm.
So keep in mind, though, like, when there's 2 people having a minimum job, minimum wage job, yeah, 2 people could potentially pay for one apartment. It's just that I feel like $1,000 is still a lot to have to make at the end of the day, at the end of the month, to pay for your place to stay, because then you have to factor in your car, if you're paying for a car, and then your
Yeah.
insurance, and then your utilities, your phone, and all of that. It's like $100 each. The phone and the utilities usually, well, the utilities is way more than 100. That's for sure. The phone, depending if you're an idiot and you bought a brand new phone and you're paying $300 extra to pay it off, then yeah, whatever. But like it's just really, some people like me, like I don't know how to budget that well. I'm getting better at it. Don't worry. But I'm getting myself out of problems because I've been learning how to be like, no, you don't need that. 90% of the time I spend money is because of food. Because food, I love it. Oh, by the way, never mind. I can't talk about that because that's never mind. Food, right? So no, it's because someone messaged me telling me about, oh, can you please pay me back a year after they paid for me? Even yeah, and I was just like, damn, like this dude really. And then they're like, oh yeah, I gotta be a loan shark now because like I need money. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. If you know who that is, cool. If not, that doesn't matter, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about it.
He has a list of people, like probably dating back like 5 years. Like, okay, he borrowed $5 from me. If I can get him, he's like a total of $100. That's a big payday if I could get him right there from 4 years ago. He's just
Dude,
going down the list.
there's people that do that, and I know people that do that. And one time, okay, so another friend, right? His name is Jonathan. He tried. His name is not actually Jonathan. I'm just gonna go with him. So Jonathan, right?
Everybody's called Jonathan.
Yeah, I owed him like $200, right? Me and him completely forgot about it within a month. 3 months later, I had money, so I Zelled him that money. So I was like, and I left a note. Oh, hey, you let me borrow this money. And then he calls me. Well, I got on Discord. Why am I bullshitting? I got on Discord. He was like, hey, Beto, blah 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 blah. You sent me $200. What's up with that? And I was like, oh, I owed you $200 like 2-3 months ago. Now that I have the money, I'm here to pay you back. I'm so sorry. Like it took too a little longer. First of all, I forgot. And he's like, oh yeah, I totally forgot. A month goes by, and this motherfucker goes, oh hey, by the way, that's the $200 that you sent me is not all the money that I sent you. I owe you. I sent you money like 2-3 years ago. And I was just like, what? And he's like, yeah, like I checked my Zelle and stuff like that. Like people owe me money, and it's about time you guys paid me back. And I was just like, I'm not paying you back for 3 years ago. Like I probably already did, and I'm not gonna go through the math. So he started gaslighting a bunch of us. Needless to say, not everybody likes him no more. So whenever he goes to buy stuff, like nobody's around him to like spot him or like to pay for him or whatever. And like yeah, so he shot himself in the foot, and I almost shot myself in the foot for doing that because I asked a lot of people for money when I really needed it, especially when I got injured. So now I'm like slowly paying back, and I'm getting back into that. You know what I mean? So imagine getting injured, right? Like I messed up my back at Amazon, and mind you, right now I'm getting paid $23.15 per hour, right? I'm not afraid to talk about that because it's whatever. But when I got injured, I think I was getting paid 21 an hour. So in the past 3 years, I got $1 increase every year, basically. Which I think is bullshit because like Jeff Bezos makes $7 million per hour. You know what I mean? Bro, pay me $7 million every 5 years or every 10 years. Blah. No, not even, dude, pay me $7 million right now. I won't have to do much for the rest of my life. I could just buy a little house here in Riverside area or in a little area, a little bit more bougie, and I will still be able to make, just with what I'm doing right now at work, pulling pallets all day, I will still be able to survive until the day I die. All right. Even if I have 2 kids and like a wife, like I will still have all that money saved up because I would be able to invest it because I have ideas. But anyways, Mike, sorry, go ahead. What do you prefer, Mike? I'm so sorry. I don't mean to, I don't shut the fuck up.
You good, dog. I know like the end goal that I would want is like, one, enough financial stability to buy a house. I never really like how you were saying, Beto, I never really like would want a big house. Just enough for myself, and then for potentially in the future if I get married, have kids, stuff like that. But I wouldn't want like a big house. I know I remember back when I used to live in like South Central, right? And all that, because we lived at my grandma's house. Because we had lost our house because of like the recession in 2008 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so technically we never like had our house for like almost 10 years and all that. And I remember when I was younger, I would say like, dang, one day we're gonna get like a 2-story house. We're gonna live the dream of like the suburbs, dude. It's gonna be great. I live in a 2-story house. It's okay. It's not it's not all that.
Dude, so speaking of the suburbs, right? The other day, my best friend, right, Spencer. I don't care if that's his actual name. It was just like, he's like, bro, I had a day. I just want to vent. I'm having such a shitty life. So he was depressed. I come to find out, I hung out with him and everything. He was just depressed about his life. I'm not gonna go into details, right? But this motherfucker, he says some shit to me like that, and I was like, you live in the suburbs. You live in a gated community. What the fuck are you bitching about? Like, I was just shitting on him so hard. I was like, bruh, your credit score is in the 700s minimum. It does not go anywhere lower than 710. First of all. Second of all, you have your mom and dad at home, all right? And you have 2 dogs. And you have a 2-story house. And you live in a gated community in the bougier side of where we live. Shut your whore mouth up. And he's like, man, sometimes I can be sad too. And I'm like, nah, you don't get to complain. No. And then I found out what was going on, and I was like, oh, I guess you do get to complain. I guess you got to be miserable somehow once in a while, I guess. No, but it was just funny because I was like, bro, you live in the suburbs. Shut up. No, my nephew the other day, he was rapping like some Eminem song, and he like emphasized on him being from the projects or some shit. And I was like, Ethan, you don't even know what that means. He's like, yeah, like I'm from the ghetto, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, Ethan, and I pointed at the gate. You live in a gated community. You need to have a pin to get in here. You know how bougie that is? You know how expensive that is? You live in an HOA. You're not ghetto, my boy. Dude, I started dying. Dude, when I told him When I told him you live in an HOA, when I said this shit, his dad, tall white man, dude, he curled up so much he looked like a little baby, and like his face was red, just he was dying, dude. I was like, you can't be ghetto and have an HOA. That's just bad. That's just bad, dude. Could you imagine being? Can you imagine the housing system goes to shit, or like even the ghettos have HOAs? It might make them look better, but Jesus Christ, dude. Oh man, fuck
dude.
the HOAs. But anyways, Mikey, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Because I remember we allegedly, I don't know if this will come back to haunt me, so I'm saying allegedly. We used someone else's, like a friend's address to go to school in another city because my dad didn't want us going to the schools around South Central where he grew up and everything. So because he knows the area and everything, and so it was in like a richer like neighborhood, not like rich, but you know, obviously richer than when we were at. And so like everybody there was like, at least like when it came to like the perception of like what's ghetto and everything like that, everyone there was like, oh yeah, like we're you know, we're so ghetto. I was like, y'all do y'all not even know what ghetto is? Like y'all
like ghetto, like I was dying, like okay, so the area where I live in, right, the bougie side of the area I live in is not that far away. It's like a skip and a hop, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing is, just because the place is
I have
pretty,
no idea where that would be.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. I don't want to dock. It's on the other side of. I'm kidding, like on this avenue, like name all the streets and whatnot. No, like it's not the area; it's the people that make it ghetto. All right. Because I was minding my own business one day, and I was going to my local Target. And you know, Target is pretty bougie. You know? Nah, not anymore. Not anymore. Not that one.
Well, yeah.
I went, and as soon as I walked in, I need to go to the restroom. Now, I love going to Target for the restroom, specifically. Oh, I used to because you know now I went in there. I was minding my own business.
I go to what's it called? Bonds and Albertsons for the restrooms.
Okay, well, the point being is
because
I was minding my own business.
I'm on the road a lot for work, so gotta know where the good restrooms are.
No, for real, that's just survival at the fittest at that point, huh?
Yeah.
Because fuck, dude, like, no, I can't. But anyways, so I went to this Target, right, and I was just like, oh hey, you know, I'm gonna just walk around a little bit, de-stress, feel, you know, breathe in the fresh air and like the, you know, the nicer side of Riverside or whatever, right? Nah, bro, I go into the restroom. It's all tagged up by the local gangs and stuff, and I'm like, no, they got this place, no, like they expanded their territory, no, so now it's ghetto. I go out to like the store, and there's like the deodorants are like locked up. I'm like, no, why would you do this to me? It's not bougie no more. I hate it here.
It's like in the first Toy Story movie where all the Woody stuff turns into Buzz Lightyear stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Bruh, that shit made me so fucking mad. I was just like, man, I hate it here. I really did hate it there. Anyways, continue, Mike. I'm so sorry.
You good? Fuck. What was I saying? What was I?
That people know what the ghetto was.
Oh yeah. Because like how Beto was saying, like they live in like gated communities. They lived in, you know, like they had HOAs and all that stuff. And I was like, yo, y'all don't know, dude. I had to take the bus like half an hour to just go to an area where my parents would pick us up and then drive us the rest of the way home.
Oh, dude. That was a struggle.
But in terms of like houses that I would want, yeah, like nothing like too big or anything like that. Like having lived in like a 2-story home for a while, I don't think I would want a 2-story home now that like I'm actually like living in it, because like after a long day I just want to like go to bed, and like I would look, I was like, fuck, I gotta go up the stairs, I gotta you know. But
so, I feel that, but I'm gonna make a comment, okay? So to go into my house, right, you have to open the gate, go in, there's a little path or whatever, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 steps.
That's a lot.
Trust me when I say, sometimes, bro, I stay in my car for 30 minutes just to muster the strength to go up those 5 fucking steps, go into my house and deal with whoever's here. and then go to my room in the very back of the house, bro. I was like, to get from point A to point B is so I hate it. I hate it. I wish my room was like right there, or I kind of wish my room was a lot bigger so I could just get into it much faster. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Oh man. I don't know, cause like in terms of like right now, I like Isidro, like I would be fine with like an apartment that I would have for myself. You know, like I do want to eventually, buy a house and everything, but it's just hard in this economy. Because I remember like my dad when he was younger than I am now, he had bought like our house that we had like that we had grown up before 2008 and all that.
Mhm.
But he had bought it when he was in his early 20s and stuff like that. And the thing that sucks is that like I can't do the same because like the
Not even
economy
close.
is so different and everything. Yeah, so it's like, but then also
I mean, you
there's,
can. I'll tell you how. You can, but you gotta sell toe pictures.
oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
So guys, officially calling it now. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers, the Unconventional Connection, Patreon. I'm not gonna say it. I don't want to get flagged, but Or we're
Yeah.
gonna-
You can
Selling
find them
premium.
on Mike's YouTube channel.
You can find the link to it on my.
As soon as we get 1,000 subscribers, I'm showing my feet off. Fuck it. No, I'm kidding.
We're at
We're pulling the
10?
dogs out.
We're at 10
And then
subs
as
right
soon as
now.
we get 1,000
Only
subscribers, I'm gonna do a
990 to
raffle.
go.
No, I'm gonna do a raffle. Who gets to have a request on what they want me to do with my feet, like play with mud or whatever the fuck they gotta do.
I'll write your
Whatever
name on
they're
my
into.
feet.
Yeah. I'm
Raffle
gonna,
it
dude. I still have.
do a hot live stream.
No, it's not gonna be a live stream. No, fuck that. No, I'm good. No,
Oh
I
my
can
God.
I legit, if I tell my sisters, hey, so I did a thing online where if I got a certain amount of subscribers in this chat in this channel with my friends, if we got 1,000 subscribers and I basically have to show my feet. Can you beautify them? They will. So I ain't worried about it.
We'll get a
I ain't
pedicure.
worried about it.
We all go
Yeah,
get
I'll
a
go-
pedicure together.
Dude, can you imagine if we do like 1,000?
Video, dude. That's a YouTube video.
What happened? What'd you say? I didn't
That's a
hear you.
YouTube video for the channel right there.
Bro, I'm telling you,
Special.
we should do an episode where it's like instead of our face, it's just our feet. Like instead of bro, I want to grab my camera and just point it down so bad. And
Hey,
it's
not
like
for free,
like
not for free. Make sure you subscribe.
yeah, like I have sandals. Yeah, like I have sandals on right now.
It'll be
And like
premium. It'll be a premium.
yeah, the premium for the premium subscribers. Yeah, that'd be so fucking funny. And then once we have enough money, we could buy a house together and we could just do the YouTube channels in there, and then we could do more shenanigans.
There we go.
No, you know what, you guys, like out of pocket, I don't care. You see, you're gonna have to edit this, but like if I had a slutty body, bro, I'd be slinging penis
You
everywhere.
said that
dog.
last week. Or was it 2
Did I
weeks
say-
ago?
I
Well, anyways, I'm
I
gonna say it this
know-
week. So,
I know for sure we've said it before, but absolutely,
Bro,
100% premium. No,
100%, dog. If I could, I would, my guy. And before anybody in the comment section says, "Well, if you lose weight," but shut up, ho. I know. I'm working on it. Leave me alone. Don't piss me off, or else I'm not gonna do the feet thing.
No, we will. We do reach 1,000.
Just that foot episode at 1,000.
I hate it here. Imagine we actually do. Oh my god, dude! If we, oh my god, I would though. I would.
Absolutely, 100%.
I absolutely would.
Talking about
Just for the
feet,
meme.
do you guys have like body marks or like scars that you guys forget about on your body?
Yeah.
Because I have
In
like
general,
one
or
right here that I always forget is there because it's just been there for so long. Even though it's in my face and I see it every day, I forget it's there.
There's
Sí,
some
pero tú
things
eres
like
guapo, mi amor. Así de fácil. ¿Cómo
I
la
know.
there's some things like I know like I've noticed recently that like my shoulders have like they're like stretch marks, but they
Yeah.
kind of look like scars. Is weird because like this like my shoulders are the only area that has like that much like prominent like stretch marks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just weird because like it always like whenever I saw it, I was like, did I get cut? What the fuck is it? Right? And so it's just like, it's a stretch. Oh, that's weird.
Because you're getting nice and
But, like,
strong.
I don't know who the fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck said this to me, but shout out to whoever said this to me one time. I was complaining. It's because on my arms I have like really mean stretch marks because I lost some weight. I lost like 50 pounds already in a year.
Nice.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm proud of that. Yeah. Thank you. But like my arms, because I'm doing like more arm workouts or whatever, the little parts right here are getting more stretch marks, right? So I was minding my business as I always do, and my friend Spencer, we were at the gym. I told him, bro, like I keep getting all these stretch marks and shit. Like I feel like I'm gonna start looking like a fucking tiger because they look like tiger marks. And this motherfucker, it was Spencer who said it. He's like, this motherfucker goes, hey man, you know what they say? The more stripes you got, the more of a tiger you are. And I was just like, I hate you. And then he was like, I'm gonna start calling you Tiger. And I was like, I'm like, I will cut you. Understand that? I will make you miserable.
You do
Understand
have
that, okay?
tiger energy, like the one from Winnie the Pooh. They're just jumping from topic to topic.
Yeah, that's because so I have a topic. I don't have a topic, but I have a comment, right? So you guys remember like a few months or weeks ago, we did the ADHD test and all the other stuff.
The autism test.
Oh yeah.
So I have something to point out, right? I don't know how true this is, but I talked to my therapist, right? And I told him, hey, my guy, like I think I might have the tism. What's up, And he's like, I can't tell you that. You have to figure that out. You have to go and take the test and blah blah blah. We can set it up. And I was like, nah, son. I know I have the tism. And he's just like, how so? And I was like, because I get like really, really happy when like I see things I like and all this other shit, and I start stimming out or whatever, right? Like I do here. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, like I'll be all like assed out or whatever, right? And he looks me in the eye. Realest shit I've ever been told. Okay, he's like, no, Beto, you're just happy because you're not depressed anymore. And I was like, excuse me? I was like, what do you mean? And he's just like, bro, the reason why you're so... Wait, hold on, pause. That should have made me cry a little bit. Because he was just like, the reason why... it's because he's like, Beto, have you not noticed that whenever you come in here, you're like really happy and you have a pep... Like you have a little strut now. Like you don't just okay. Like you don't just waddle in. Like you actually like, what's up, baby? Like you even like move your shoulders like, what's up, baby? Like you walk in here, And I was just like, word? And he's just like, yeah, like you're not as miserable, you're not as depressed. So like that's why you're able to look at the things that you like and you just get excited because you no longer have that holding you back. And I was just like, so I'm cured? And he's like, no, that's not how that works. And I was like, man, like I hate it here. I was like, man, I hate it here. And he's just like, no, it's okay. And I was like, so you're telling me that I'm no longer depressed. Does that mean I gained more swag or I lost my swag? And he's just like, it depends who you ask. And then I asked it to Spencer and he's like, you're stupid. And I was like, I know, I'm sorry. Anyways, no, I used to tell people like the reason why I'm not as upset as being depressed is because like that's what gives me my swag. You know what I mean? Because like the more trauma you have, the funnier you are. That's just how it is. Unfortunately, but anyway, nah, dude. Like, look, having a big house is nice and all. It's a thing of status. You know what I mean? Like, the bigger the house it is, the more status you have, right? But my thing has always been this. First of all, I grew up with my grandparents, right? So it's my mom's house, my neighbor's house, and then my grandmother's house, right? So right next door, essentially next door. Not even a big deal. And I grew up with my parents, so I grew up with a very tight community, right? Like my grandparents, my uncle, my dad, my mom, my sisters, and so on and so forth. I am used to seeing a lot of people in one building. You know what I mean? Like I'm used to that. But when I used to live by myself, and it was just me and my ex-girlfriend, and in Carmen, my manager, it felt so empty. And that's when I realized, like, oh shit, a house can be quiet. You know what I mean? Like a place can truly be quiet. I remember when I moved into the condominium, and that's when it all started. I was like, I want this. Like it was a two floors or whatever. It was compact, and I mean I fit comfortably, except in the shower. But that's besides the point. I don't fit in every single shower. But if I owned that condominium, the things that I would do there, because like. Yeah, it was a 2-story one, but the master bedroom was huge. It's double the size of what I have right now. Yeah, I'm fucking. I'm gonna say double because I don't know how to read. Anyways, I don't know measurements. I don't know how long an ounce is. Anyways, so did anybody catch that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I don't know how long an ounce is.
Wait a minute.
That's a measure of
I just didn't want
liquid.
to. I just didn't want you to tell me to shut up. I'm gonna keep going.
Right, well, shut up. Anyways, so have you seen a video where this lady, she's arguing or whatever, and this guy didn't even say nothing. He's like, "Y tú te calles, mal parido, blah, blah, blah." And she goes, and everybody goes, "Espera, no dijo nada." And she turns and she goes, "Di algo para callarte." And the guy goes, "Es que mira, cállese." And I'm just like, oh my god. I love that. I love those interactions. They're funny. But no, dude. So, but the condominium, it was really cool because like the other room was more like an office space, but Carmen made it work because she's tiny. She's a small little Filipino lady. I love her. I love it when she used to say, "Beto, are you stupid?" Like the way she was. It was awesome. I'm into it. I should call her. Anyways, oh my god, my tism is active so hard right now. No, but like it was a cool thing. It was a nice thing to have because it had a little patio in the back, and I could sit there. And if I smoked hookah or cigarettes or pot at the time, I probably would just be just staring at the sky and shit and bonjour or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But that's something that I think about a lot. You know, like here at my mom's house, I can't bust out a hookah and then just have it outside in a nice breezy night and then just be puffing on it because my mom has kids and that's tobacco. Like I can't be smoking in front of kids. You know what I mean? So when I was in that condominium, it was really, really fun. It was awesome. It was the best time of my life probably because I had a girlfriend at the time and I loved her to death and we were cool. I would always spoil her. We would make food together. It was really, really nice, and it's something that I long for now. But just seeing the prices and just seeing how much it is, it's not even worth it at this point. You know, like it's terrible. I much rather contact the city and ask for permission to demolish the garage in the back of my mom's house to make it into a duplex and legally do it. You know what I mean? I'd much rather do that because fuck that. And I talked to my mom too. I told her, you know what? I'm gonna end up dying in this house because I'm not gonna be able to even move out. So she morbidly told me, so what's gonna happen when I die? And I was like, me too, I guess, because I'm not gonna argue with this. Fuck that. Like I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna afford this. I'm going with you.
You better take me with you. And she's like, nah. She told me, she's like, nah, I'm not taking you with me. I want to go in peace. And I'm like, too damn bad. You had me. I'm your problem till death, son. Whenever I introduce her to people, I'll be like, this is my mom. This is the one that gave life to me, and I'll never forgive her for that. But we're here. No, yeah. The house.
I don't think I've met your mom.
You don't want to. It's okay. Nah, she's cool. She's alright. She's cool. She's seen you though. She knows who you are because she's seen you in at 7-Eleven and she's seen you pick me up.
Yeah,
she knows who you are.
Yeah, everybody knows who I am.
Yeah. And you're Zaddy.
I know everybody's mom knows me.
Yeah, that's true.
Excuse me.
Everybody's mom knows me.
I don't like the implications of that, but okay.
You can take it however you want.
Anyways, so one of the things that I genuinely don't understand is how people can make so much money and then buy just giant houses. It's like, do they really? I wonder if like these people actually fill each room with someone like a family member. Because look, if let's say for example I was to win the lottery, or if I was a rich multimillionaire, I wouldn't let any of my family members like live alone, or I wouldn't let any of my family members be on the street or anything like that. I would just come live in my house.
Yeah,
just stay there.
I would.
Know what I mean? Huh?
I would.
You wouldn't? You said?
I would.
No, he said he would.
Well, okay. I'm bullshitting. I'm sorry. You're right, Isidro. I'm fucking bullshit. There's some motherfuckers that I will not let near my house, but I'm just saying I was trying to keep appearances. I was just trying to
the family members you care about.
Yeah. Which is like all but three of them.
The first thing I would do is disappear.
No, okay. No, don't start with me.
Be like this.
I think about this. I think about this every single day because, like, if I was to win the lottery, the first thing I would do is.
Oh, he cut out. That is the legal advice attorneys give. Don't tell anyone. Disappear.
Yeah.
Only
the thing with me though.
Only let specific people know, like those that have to absolutely must know. Other than that, don't tell anyone.
Oh, yeah,
I think
it's like the meme where it's like if I win the lottery, I'm not telling anyone, but there would be signs.
fine.
I didn't send one of those to you guys today.
So, yeah.
So when there's like a
Probably.
bunch of like Pokemon stuff, like Pokemon cups, Pokemon plates, the hangers are
Yeah.
Pokemon, the bed
Yeah.
frame is Pokemon, stuff like that.
Look, my issue with money and stuff is I don't want a lot. I just need enough. That's something that
And that is
a
the
lot of
problem. It is never enough.
yeah. Well, to me, there is always enough, but it just depends on the people. Because like, don't get me wrong, it's not like, oh, at the end of the month I want to have enough money to pay all my debt and then have no money left over. Nah, not like that. Tampoco no te mames. You know what I mean? That's not. That's you know. But it's like this. If I could figure myself out and find a job that I actually enjoy and I actually want to be in a career essentially, because you're going into something that's gonna make you a lot of money, dude. Like no questions asked. You know what I mean?
That is the goal.
Well, yeah, no, and you're gonna
And
do it. You're
to
smart.
help people, blah 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 blah. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, right. Anyways, we have to say that because no, I'm kidding. No,
Not doing it for the money, have to help people, want to be charitable, I always want to, I care, big heart.
That's
No,
another
like,
thing too. That like whenever people say, "I was like, oh, I'm not doing it for the money," it's like, yeah, I mean, like,
yes,
no,
you are.
like regardless of like if this is like your passion or if this is what you want to do in life and stuff, you're always gonna be hopeful that you make money. So like like you are always gonna like want to do it for the money. Like, granted, that might not be like the main reason, but it is always gonna be a reason.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Especially when you're doing it like in terms of like a career or like like that kind of thing. If it's like something like, oh yeah, I just like to paint on weekends and stuff. Obviously, that's more of a hobby kind of thing rather than like trying to get paid or make that a career. Then you can say, obviously, you're not doing it for money or anything like that. But like if it's something that like you want to do as a career and stuff, you're gonna do it for the money. Like
it's gonna sound messed up, but I firmly believe that doctors don't do it to help out people. They do it for the money.
Yeah.
Because
that's a fair assumption.
I don't say it to be rude or disrespectful, but every single doctor that I've met, actually I can't say that because Dr. Phillips, he's really cool. Anyways, a lot of the doctors that I have met, they don't look me in the eye. They've never looked me in the eye. They never.
That's because they have to kiss him.
I'm gonna choose to ignore that. They never looked me in the eye. They never like asked me more than what they needed to. You know what I mean? With my doctor, yeah, he's fast or whatever. He's fast with it. Like I come in and he's like, "Oh, hey, you're here for this, and this. Outside of that, how are you doing? How are you feeling?" I was like, "Oh, well, I feel good. I feel okay. Blah blah blah." But to stay on topic, the symptom is this, and then he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And like he'll ask me the questions he needs to ask. But when we're done, he comes back 5 minutes and he's like, "Okay, so is there anything going on? This and that. Anything I should know?" Like he actually puts more effort into finding out if there's more to the symptom, or if it's just a symptom and it's gonna go away, or if it's not gonna go away. I know that there's a protocol that they have to do, and I know they have to see a bunch of people. But at least with this doctor, ever since he's been back, he's been in my with my weight loss, he's done a lot. Like he's given me pamphlets and like all this other stuff for the weight loss and stuff like that. But he's also been teaching me like, oh, this is how this works and this is how this is. You know what I mean? He doesn't just go, oh, I'm gonna prescribe you this and good luck. I'm like, no. He's like, you need to take it like this and you need to take it like that. Make sure you don't do this and this. And like he like explains it, right? But again, if I was a doctor, for example, and I was single and I made good money, like I wouldn't go buy a big ass house. I wouldn't even buy a brand new car. Okay, that's a lie. I would, but I wouldn't buy like an expensive brand new car. Like I wouldn't go buy a Ferrari or something like that. I would buy a Honda, a brand new Honda. But what's a freaking brand new Honda compared to a Lexus or a BMW or a really, really fancy exotic car? I don't know because I don't know anything outside of Honda.
I mean, normally Lexus just Toyotas with a different label on it.
Supposedly, I don't know. Point being,
because they're the same company. Just Lexus.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah, it's like just Lexus is the luxury Toyota or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
That. So it's just, but it's the same car. It's just a different like label on it.
Oh, interesting. Huh. The more you know.
The more you know. But yeah, I think it's because I just have issues with the whole world as a whole,
Same.
where I see that it's like I've seen, especially in our country, where it's like I've seen people have so much. They have so much that
I
it just
think
goes to
Beto's
waste.
discovering communism
No, I've known about that. I
and
just never put it in.
socialism and what it actually implies.
Well, yeah, like, and like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't care if people call me anti-socialist or anti-communist or anti-fascist or a I
No,
don't care.
you're like pro-communist.
I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, what we have here on Earth, we're not gonna take it to wherever else we're going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of it, death to me is just like how before I was born, I wasn't there, so I'm not gonna be here. So what the fuck does it matter if I have a $400 billion house if I'm not gonna be able to take it? And as soon as I die, some dickhead is gonna come up and take it anyways. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like this house, if everything goes well, for example, well, okay, not when everything goes well, and then the next statement, but I hope my mom doesn't pass away anytime soon. You know what I mean? I hope
Yeah.
and I hope she's here for another 30, 40 plus years. You know, she's 60 something, so I don't think she'll make it to 100, but if she does, awesome. But my point is, one day, unfortunately, my mom, she's gonna pass away, and the house is gonna be ours, my two older sisters and mine. My older sister already has kids, right? So I think it's fair that my sister should have the house. Granted, it's a bit big. It's not as well, no, it is a lot bigger, I think, than her house currently. So I would just tell her, hey, come live here in the house. The kids are gonna have a bigger room to stay in.
Mhm.
If give me your house, and the oldest one can come live here in the garage where I'm at, and the little one can have his own room finally, and then just let me go to your house. Just give me the title or whatever. We could do a trade off or whatever. My middle sister, she has part of the house that has a little. Hers is a little addition. It's been there for years.
Okay. Yeah.
The restroom, kitchen, and all that other stuff. So she has her own spot. If for whatever reason I'm talking about right now, right? Like if my mom was to pass out right
Mhm.
now, my nephews would be the ones to own the house next. If my older
Mm.
sister passes away, if I pass away, and everybody, it's gonna be my nephew. So it's generational. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just as long as these assholes don't freaking sell it because they're stupid or something, as long as they don't do that, we should be fine. Like this house is gonna be here for years. You know what I mean? For us,
Yeah.
for the Alcaraz family or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Alcaraz Felix Fisher family, because it's a bunch of families put together, obviously, right? But that is something that I'm super for. Like you have your
Mhm.
house, it belongs to you, it's gonna belong to your kids, and then their kids, and then their kids, and then go on and so forth.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Um, a lot of I've heard stories of my friends telling me like, yeah, like my grandfather bought this house and it became my dad's and now it's mine, but I lost it because everything's so expensive, the taxes, and it's people who lost their home, like they're like his grandpa passed away like maybe like 5-6 years ago, give or take. And after that, the dad owned it, and then the dad was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go live in Mexico, so I'm just gonna give you the house, transfer the title to the kid to the son." And now the son doesn't have a house because like of all these taxes that piled up, all this bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
There was a TikTok that I saw where like it was just a random one too that like they went like they obviously they formed it in like the form of like a skit, but it was like it's like an informative video
mhm,
that like if you are going to give like your son or daughter, your kids the house, and if you've had it for like years and years, then you should give them the house but keep it under your name because you've already built up all those years with it and all that credit or whatever with it. So that way like when they get the house, they're not hit with so much like property tax and stuff like
mhm.
that because they're newer owners of the property and
Yeah,
stuff like that. And I don't know how that would work. Like once, like say the parent does pass away, and so I don't know how that would work. Maybe it would like start going into them now, but at least like they would have time to save money, stuff
right.
like that. You
Yeah.
know. And so yeah, and that's why like the example that you gave that like the dad moved and then he had the son put it under his name, so now and he doesn't have it anymore because of all the stuff that piled on from him signing on to it.
Yeah, it's a lot of like look, again, not to get political, but I think this country really is all screwed up because there's no way that in Mexico, if you buy a plot of land, it's yours. Like nobody can come in and touch it. Nobody can tell you, oh, we're gonna take it. Like no, like it's yours. Like it belongs to me, and nobody else can. Not even the city can come and say anything to you about it. As far as I know.
Mhm.
Don't quote me. No, it's not like that no more.
Never was.
Really?
They can literally just take it from you without any problem.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
shit.
like people like take over properties all the time.
I think that happened
Oh, like through
too with,
squatting and stuff, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Oh
I
no,
think
that's
that
no.
happened-
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something completely different. I'm talking about, for example, over there in where my dad's from, that plot of land, that giant plot of land, is now subdivided because my grandpa and grandma decided to have like 20 kids and shit. So everybody has their own little spot, but the property is it's a big property. But I'm scratching the shit out of my ankle right now, dude. Oh, it feels so good. I want to moan. Oh, anyways, um so over there, it's like you can leave your house barren, like your property barren, and you could gate it and everything, and like you can come in and just say, "Oh, this is mine" or whatever. I see what you're talking about. I see what you mean. Like if you leave it for like 3 years, someone can just come in and put whatever they want in it, and now all of a sudden it's theirs, and good luck getting them out. But my point is, I think it's because like, dude, like there's so much bullshit, and like I just want to be able to go to a house, like own something where if I want to take a shit for 3 hours, I can. Okay, like if I want to
Sounds like you need
sleep.
a personal bathroom
That's
in a house.
fair. That's
Well, no, okay. This is what I'm saying. Okay, I'm gonna give you my everyday thing. The house here, my mom's house, with all due respect, is also a daycare. So I have kids here every single day from like 6 in the morning till 6 in the afternoon, sometimes even later. Right? When I go to work, I'm supposed to be up at 5 in the morning. By 5:10, I have to be in the restroom, brushing my teeth, going to the restroom, whatever I gotta do, and leave by 5:30. Right? Not a problem there. A little bit because if my sister's still asleep, I make noise. The restroom is the restroom is it's the restroom. There's a wall and there's a door in that wall that goes into her room. It's weird. It's fucking weird. The point is, if I make too much noise, she wakes up, and now that we have a new dog, she starts harassing her and barking, and she's wild. So that's a bit of a problem. And then I wake up my mom, and like all this other shit. When I get home, I don't want to get home to the house smelling like children shit, because children, they're weird. Like they when they shit, they like, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. But the point is, it's bad. I don't want to open the door and get hit with that. I don't want to deal with my mom yelling at me, screaming at me because she's had a long day and she's tired of the kids. I don't want to hear kids yelling and screaming and breaking shit. I don't want to hear my aunt bitching and complaining. I don't want to hear nobody. I just want to come home to silence. You know what I mean? Mind you, I work in a warehouse. It's loud. It is very, very loud in there. I want to be able to go home, go to my room, take my clothes off, grab my clothes that I'm going to put on here in the house, go to the restroom, be in the restroom to unwind for like an hour. Whether I'm 30 minutes in the toilet, 30 minutes in the shower, doesn't matter, mind your business. But I want to be able to do that in peace without somebody knocking and banging on the door saying, hey, the kid needs to use the restroom, or hey, I need to use the restroom. That's one thing. The second thing is, if I want to make meat and potatoes for dinner, that's it. That's all I want to eat. Just a piece of meat in like half a potato or whatever. I'll eat that. I'll do that. Not with my mom yelling and screaming, "Oh, you need to eat this. You need to eat that. This is going bad." But it's just like, dude, like the constant nagging is like what really pisses me off. You know what I mean? So me wanting to leave is very on my agenda, but because of the way everything is, I just gotta suck it up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And ironically, I told my therapist about it. It's like I think that's why I'm becoming more whatever about things, because it's like the things that I truly desire and the things that I truly want, I can't have, and they're the most basic of needs. So nothing else matters to me. So I just say fuck it.
no.
You know what I mean? Oh wow.
Am I back? You guys were
Yeah,
frozen for like
you're
a
back.
minute for me. Okay. Okay.
I don't know how.
I just heard the
Yeah, me too.
and you were just frozen. I was like, oh, okay.
Like, because Beto froze, and I was like, oh no, did he? But I saw you, and then you were frozen. I was like, oh, is it me? Oh no.
Yeah. You. For
And then he just
me,
tricked
you were
himself, so I
frozen.
was like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
For me, you were frozen. You didn't miss
Okay,
out on
continue.
much. But you didn't miss out on much. But no. No. So like the whole housing stuff, and just as a topic of as a whole, it sucks, dude. It really does
Mhm.
suck. Cause like home is like is to me the most important part for everybody. You know,
Mhm.
there's people that thrive in chaos, like I do, but there's people that they can't. They need to have that silence. You know what I mean? So imagine living in a home that's really loud because of all these kids. Jesus Christ, I'm so white and pasty that look at me.
Shut up,
You know what I
Edward.
feel like when I look at this,
Shut up,
and when I
Edward.
look at my hand, huh?
Shut up, Edward.
I know this is
Smile
gonna
like
kill her, Bella.
No, not really.
No, it's because my light is literally like the good Lord is like
Oh,
beaming
okay.
down
Yeah,
on me,
mine's like
and like
a little further
I'm
back.
so white and like
My
I'm
light
like
is
so
off.
white and yeah, I'm so white and like low key kind of privileged a little bit that like my shit just I glimmer and whatnot. I feel like, do you know how like the Rosa de Guadalupe, the little wind that comes up and that light turns out? That's how I feel like right now because the AC's on. The AC's on right now. It's like Mike, play that fucking sound.
Rosa de Guadalupe.
Yeah, Rosa de Guadalupe, the little el vientecito and whatnot. Oh boy.
Dang, hold on. I'm good. For future episodes, like we should add the sounds to the soundboard.
I should have a little soundboard. I want to get a little soundboard where I can just do,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
guys
Just
should
like,
upgrade your stuff.
I am. Shut up. Leave me alone.
Oh, dude, you mean like
that,
this?
like that mic.
Oh, it's not. Mine's not coming up. Why is it not saying anything?
Oh, damn, really? Oh,
I heard it.
Damn. Okay.
I heard it was the
Yours,
horn.
yours. It's not muted. I don't know why.
Huh. That's weird.
I heard the horn.
Ba, 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 ba. Anyways, point being. But yeah,
What were you saying, Isidro? You were saying something?
something about how you want to move back to your homeland and like own your property or some shit like that. What?
No, I mean, kind of like I guess for me, because you're saying you want silence. For me, it just gets really lonely here on the weekends. It's too lonely. It's just me. There's no one to talk to.
Yeah.
I literally don't. If I don't go out, there's like no one. There's nothing to do. Like I just sit here in my computer and actually do not move. Like I'll be here for hours. But like, it's like, oh shoot, haven't moved or anything. Just as lonely. It gets very quiet. So I feel like there's a balance between both.
Yeah.
Like the silence is nice, but it's always nice to have options of who to talk to.
Yeah.
Because like I can talk to my cats. They're not the best conversationalists, but I can talk to them. I stay entertained with them for the most part. But yeah, it's not. Definitely has its moments.
I feel like me and Mike. Well, I don't know because Mike has his parents, 2 brothers, sister-in-law. I'm assuming as well.
Yeah.
The baby and 2 brothers. So 6 people.
parents.
So 6 people in total. It's like 7 people plus a dog. It's 8 people. So that's a full house. That's a lot of people.
The
You know what I
Brady
mean?
Bunch.
So yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't be able to imagine Mike just all of a sudden grab his shit and leave, and then be like, okay, because like at least someone's always like someone's always at the other side of the door. You know what I mean?
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. I remember even before like when me and Isidro lived together in the apartments and stuff like that. Because especially before my parents moved closer to where I was going to school, and it would have this weird feeling because I got so used to everyone always being there and around there and everything, and so it kind of like how you were saying earlier, like it felt like nostalgic or like I had a feeling of nostalgia and I wanted to go back home and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a point where my older brother, he was gonna go out of state for a job, and he went there for like training and stuff like that. And then my younger brother Nick, he at the time was going to school up north, so it was literally just like me by myself. And this is before my sister-in-law moved in and everything, before they got married. And so it was literally just me by myself, and it was definitely like how seniors. It was lonely. Like I didn't have like I always like had. At least if I like my older brother wasn't there, I had Nicholas, my younger brother, to go and talk to, or he'll come talk to me or whatever. But like my parents, they would be working and stuff like that, and when they got off, they just kind of like chilled in in the living room and stuff and unwind, stuff like that. And so yeah, it was I didn't really have anyone to really talk to or anything like that. So being like alone and stuff, it hits you,
Yeah, I think I don't know why I crave it so much. You know what I mean? And it's not because it's not even that deep either. It's not because because I'm lonely. No, or because I'm edgy as fuck. No. It's just I'm so used to having people around me that
Yeah.
I'm just like, can you leave me the fuck alone? You know what I mean? Like I like being alone. Like when my
Yeah.
sister and my mom went to Puebla, like yeah, I was sad because like I was here by myself. You know, like I didn't see my sister or whatever. But that just meant I got to raid her fridge for free. You know what I mean? And then like my mom even told me, she called me one day, like the second or third day, she's like, did you take out meat to defrost? You need to eat those potatoes because they're gonna go bad. So I was like, oh baby, don't even trip. So I make curry. You know what I mean? So like I had a bunch of stuff to my disposal, and I didn't have to worry about nobody yelling at me. So one day I made dinner, and I made enough for the following day for my lunch for work. And then I got home, I did a little bit more food, and I let the dishes pile up. And then the third day that I had more time, I cleaned up the entire kitchen, chilled out, didn't cook anything, ordered a pizza, and I ate pizza for like 2 days. You know what I mean? Not the healthiest thing, but I can't do that with my mom and my sister here, because I'll be like, why are you doing that? Like, why are there so many dishes? And like, so they're always nagging. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. Like, I don't like it when people nag at me about things that are like so minute and like so benign. Like, it's just like whatever, you know? Like, why even, you know?
It's like the clashing of different like ways in which
Mindsets?
people mindsets and like the ways that people do things, right? Because like for like me personally, like not necessarily my mom, mostly my dad. Like when there's something that like needs to be done, it needs to be done like right away. You know, because that's how he grew up doing it. That's how he knows how to do things and stuff like that. And like with me, like I'll even then, like, you know, and not sound disgusting or anything, but like I have like a plate, you know, that like I ate like a snack from and stuff, and it's still it's still here. Like I am gonna clean it. I am gonna go and take it. I'm not gonna leave it here. But it's just, you know, if
Not
like,
imagine. As you're talking, I just take out a big old totem again.
I have the soda I was drinking when we started.
Yeah. And so it's like, I know that I am going to eventually like grab the plate, take it downstairs, wash it, clean it and stuff. But it's just, you know, like if my parents came in, it's like, why is that still here? Why haven't, you know? And it's like, well, you know, I haven't gotten around to it. Like I'm going to do it, but you know, and it's kind of like that. Like it's just different mindsets of when like people want things done, or like how people want things done, stuff like that. And like living in the same house and everything, everyone kind of wants their house to be the way that they want it to, and like when it's different, they just, you know, they clash. You know?
One of the things that I had an issue with when I was living with Spencer and Ivan was that the common area, nobody touched it. And it was only when we got together and said, hey, this needs to be clean, we're going to divide it and we're going to work on it or whatever. And then the issue was that the timing was bad. One guy would come in all mad and wouldn't want to do anything that day, so he would just put it off. And then we would get into a big old fight, big old argument. So home ownership, that's why I push the agenda that these big corporations should just make massive towers of like not small, but like small little properties that people can afford. And it's just like, if you want to paint the walls red, paint them red. If you want to, I don't know, just something. If you want to,
that would be ideal, but it's not that easy.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if it's easy.
Because the people that block those are the people that already own homes.
No,
it's the day-to-day people that block those, because that devalues their properties. And then the problem is that they see property as a long-term investment that grows over time. So then having less housing makes your property has more value. So then the people that own houses block affordable housing.
I understand.
It's all like, it's all
I understand that,
and all that, like in terms of like, because I personally I think that, you know, like housing should be like a universal kind of thing. Like everyone should have at least something like.
He froze again.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he cut out.
Yeah, he cut out. Boop, boop, boop.
It might kick him out, actually, if it's that bad.
In that, if you try and put like affordable housing next to like say if you put like affordable housing.
He didn't.
You froze.
Baby girl, we lost you for like a good 3 minutes.
I saw the quality dip in like your guys' webcam on my end. I was like, oh wait, something happened. But like I was saying, like if you try and put like affordable housing next to like a gated community of like with like HOA or something like that, right? Obviously, those people are not gonna want like the affordable housing there because it's gonna make their properties like look bad compared to them. And so like for potential people who want to, come in and live in the gated community and everything. And it's all about perspective. I personally I don't see a problem with that because like,
My thing is this: if you're gonna live in a gated community, okay, you have an HOA, you're paying all of these dues and whatever. So yeah, as soon as you go into the gated community, different world. I get it.
Yeah.
I do. Like the bougie people live there. Okay, cool. But there's so many not bougie people out there that like it's like really I don't know how to explain it, dude, cuz like I'm of the mentality of like ¿cómo te lo digo? Like how do I explain it? Because there's one thing between being poor and then gross. Does that make sense? Like I could be poor, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna be gross. Like I'm gonna take care of myself. I'm gonna wash myself, take care, like clothe myself properly or whatever. There's a lot of people at work or where I work at that have told me like, oh yeah, I'm homeless. Like I literally have to go to a homeless shelter right after this. But you would never guess. Like they're clean. They're they're well they're well dressed and everything. They're dressed to work. They're always clean. They don't smell or none of that. So I hate how people correlate that, where it's like, oh, if you're poor, you're like gross. It's like, no, that's not how that 100% works. It's correlated. It does have that correlation where it's like, yeah, if you have less resources, like I get it.
Yeah.
But again, we live in a time where fucking I could talk to someone on the other side of the world. I could see someone on the other side of the world through technology. I have no idea why people are so stuck up on the concept of, oh, it's like, and Isidro, I'm not making fun of you, but what Isidro said about the whole long-term investment, yeah, sure, I understand that. And like I completely understand that. But again, how I opened up this episode was, I don't think it should be an investment. I don't think it should be a business. I think I think everybody in this country should have some sort of home that they can go to. Whether it be because they own it or whether it be because a family member owns it and they're letting them stay or whatever. You know what I mean? My mom hasn't asked me for rent, but the moment she does, I know it's fair. It's fair. It's only fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's getting older. She's getting tired. She wants to be on her garden all day. And I told her, dude, the only way you're going to have time to do this is if you cut back on how many kids you have. And immediately without skipping a beat, she's like, oh yes, who's going to pay my bills? And I'm like, me and my sister works a very good job. The issue with her is that she owes money to like loans and stuff like that because she has like 3 masters and stuff.
Yeah.
Good for her or whatever. She owes money to like certain loans. So she obviously does not have the money to pay rent. But me, on the other hand, I live here. I don't have to pay a single cent because she's not forcing me. She's not asking for it. But I want to at some point be able to say, hey, this is as much as I can give you. This is $500. Use it for the house or use it or save it so that I can fix the garage and make it into a duplex or something. You know what I mean? Because trust and believe, realistically speaking, if I take out my book right now and I do all my numbers and all my finances and stuff, I need about 15,000. Yeah, like about $10,000 to $15,000 to get out of debt, like completely. In a year, I should be making like 30,000. So next year, if I literally grabbed all the money I make, don't spend on anything, only spend it on gas, spend it on the very, very essential things I need, not going out or nothing, I'm pretty sure that in about 2 years, I'll be able to pay off my car, pay off the loans that I owe, and then pay off the credit cards that I owe. And that's just $15,000. You know what I mean? After that, all that money that I could have been spending on my car and all this other stuff can go straight into my car because I need to fix some gaskets, I need to redo the transmission, and I need to fix the nasty ass bumper that fucked up. Right? All of these things the car is essential because I work all the way in Eastville. I need a car that works. I can't have a car that's gonna leave me in the middle of the freeway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially the 60 and the 90. Like fuck that. So I think that if companies or cities or districts or whatever just said, you know what, we're gonna have this giant plot of land and we're just gonna make a giant warehouse, a 3-floor warehouse, and we're gonna slot in. Have you guys ever been to IKEA?
Yeah.
Okay, imagine an IKEA, but instead of it being like a small, like a showroom, it's an actual place you can live in. You know what I mean? With a
Mm.
little kitchen, a little restroom, your little sleeping area, and your living room, and that's it. And it's obviously closed off properly, so it's safe, bolt locks and everything. You know what I mean? Sure, a lot of people may not agree, oh, because it's gonna look this, and that. Well, you're still gonna have to pay rent, or if you own it, you're still gonna have to pay for upkeep, an HOA essentially. What an HOA is, that's basically what it is. Like, make sure that the building is not getting messed up, make sure that the pipes are good or whatever. You know what I mean? That can work. I know it can work. I haven't planned it because I don't know how to plan that stuff, and that's I think that's my other problem, that I imagine it to be true, but there's obviously a billion reasons why that's not true, right?
Yeah.
For example, I know that the cure of cancer, I'm sure it's there. Like, I'm sure there's some
Mhm.
sort of cancer cure, but no, sick people make money, or doctors make money off of sick people, so they're
Yeah.
not gonna do it that easy. You know what I mean? Sure, I'm pretty sure that I could be taking a specific pill or a supplement, and all this other stuff that can help me lose weight. But it's gonna give me all these other side effects that I'm gonna need help with in the future. So it's
Yeah.
like, and I feel like it shouldn't be like that. I feel it really should not be like that. But I get it. I get it, economy and all this other bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
That's
want to
the
hear
thing.
I want to hear from you guys though, because I've been talking a lot,
Well,
and I want to hear from you
that's
guys.
the thing too, is that like, because I don't know, it's like it's hard to implement a lot of things in terms of like getting like universal, like the thing with the US is like a lot of people don't want universal healthcare, but like other countries have shown that universal healthcare can work. It's just, I think it's all just based off of people's perception of how things should be run or how things should be, because if you ask me, I was like, yeah, everyone should have a place to stay, everyone should have like food to eat, clothes, everyone should be able to live comfortably. I mean, like, I always bring up the fact that like we're just on a fucking floating rock in the middle of space, and like once we're gone, it's still gonna be here, you
Yeah,
know. And so
yeah,
it's like personally, like I view it as that like people should just, be able to live their lives the way that they want to, comfortably and everything like that, and shouldn't have to worry about finances and stuff like that. And like, but at the same time, the way that our society is set up and stuff like that, it's not practical to where, to implement it. You know what I mean? And that's the
right.
thing that sucks about it.
But before I forget, where I know that
Mm.
you mentioned all this, it reminded me of my grandpa,
Mm.
because I remember I used to have philosophical conversations with my grandpa. And mind you, I was a kid. I was fucking 8, 9 or some shit.
Mm.
And I asked him, like, why are people evil? Or like, why are people so mean? Like
Mm.
what necessity do people have to be mean to each other? Like, why can't they just laugh and smile? And
Mm.
he used to tell me that's just how man is. That's just how humankind is. It's the only creature that actively works against itself. It's the only creature that literally works to destroy itself. That's just
Mm.
how we are, and it's true. Like,
Mm.
I don't care. Look, I'll put myself as an example. My weight is my fault. Like, I'm not blaming my genetics. I'm not saying, oh, I'm big boned. No, no, no. It's my fault. And I remember every single time that I ate something when I'm not supposed to, or I overate, or I said, you know what, I have the money, I'm gonna buy myself extra this or extra that, or I'm gonna have this plate of food that is already that could feed a family of 10 even. I'm gonna eat it all in one sitting. Like, that's my fault. And that's me destroying myself. Did it give me that little pleasure? Yeah, sure. But the consequences is not enough, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, and it's also a lot of us, and I say us as in humankind, we just run on the crab mentality, of the jealousy, like, oh, because he has it, I don't want nobody else to have it, I want it for myself, so I'm just gonna take it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
um Trust and believe, like, if I had money, like if I had millions of dollars, yeah, I would want to get into the housing industry, but I wouldn't do it as a business to only profit. Like, yeah, I would need a profit because I need to make sure that I can put money back into it. You know what I mean? Like I said with the warehouse, like, yeah, sure, I would want to build a warehouse, and I would want to build 100 or 200 houses homes in that warehouse. I would need to make some money so that I could put it back into making sure it's clean, making sure the pipes are good, making sure the trash is being taken care of, making sure the electricity runs. If a sink breaks, I'm able to put money into it, whatever. You know what I mean? And it's just, there is a way. I'm sure there's a way. There's always a way. But again, humankind is just destined to destroy itself and to be miserable because of its way. Sorry, I talk a lot. Jesus Christ.
No, you're good, man.
I always have something to say, huh? Like I always have a fucking comment.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the point of a podcast. you
Yeah,
know?
to talk. If you're not
It is to
talking, no
talk.
one's talking. One of us has to talk.
It's because with me, like I think it's because it's just years and years and years of just asking, pero por qué? Like why? You know what I mean? I remember
like-
one time. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say because like it's like I remember like obviously there's probably like some logic to it and stuff like that, but I remember like people were saying like, oh, like the country's in debt. It's like, well, who are we in debt to? And it's like, oh, like other countries for like resources or like weapons, stuff like that. And I was like, so why don't we just pay it off if it's just numbers on an account? Like it's not like we're like getting them like stacks and stacks of physical cash. Why don't we just transfer the numbers or whatever and then just be fine with it and go on like our merry way.
Mhm.
They get the money or whatever, and then we just kind of get out of debt. And it was like, well, it doesn't work though because there's like this and that. And so I was like, well, yeah, but like why don't we just all collectively agree? It's like, yep, it's been paid. All right, let's just move on like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it doesn't work. It's like, oh, why not?
Like I'll put it to you this way: the game that I was telling you guys about earlier, Sid Meier Civilization 6. I love that game. I want to play that game right now so bad, but it really has shown me that there's more to life than just I'm gonna do this and fuck everybody else, because every single thing you do in that game affects everybody else too. So if you plant a city, like if you settle a new city close to a neighboring player, they can tell you like, hey, like I don't want you doing that. Nicely, they'll tell you like, hey, don't be doing that. And if you keep doing it, then they'll escalate. They'll denounce you, and the whole world's gonna hear that. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, I told him not to do this. He's doing this. Why is he doing this? So if you have friends, if say like the three of us are playing or whatever, and I tell you, hey, this other civilization is plopping down next to me, I don't like that. I can ask Mike like, yo, Mike, check him, and like I'll have you send his army or whatever. I feel like that's how the world truly works. Like we develop and we learn and we negotiate, and sometimes we trade resources and all that good stuff, right? The trade market or whatever the fuck. But again, like what you said earlier, like we're just here in a rock. Like I'll die tonight, and all this shit that's here, like, it's gonna go to my friends, to my family, to my nephews. You know what I mean? I know that the PC for a fact, Spencer and Ivan have direct, Spencer and Ivan, my best friends, they have direct ownership of my computer and stuff because parts of the computer were theirs. Sorry. My Gundam collection, my Lego collection can go to whoever wants them. If they want to throw it away, even if they're not built. They just keep them or not keep them, whatever you want. My bed is paid off. If my mom needs it, she can use it. If my nephews need a new bed, it's right here. You know what I mean? So, but while I'm alive, I have to fight for all these resources. Like that to me doesn't make any sense. So why is it that when I'm alive, I have to struggle the most, but when I'm dead, everybody benefits from me? Like it's just like, it's wrong, but that's just what life is. You know what I mean? Like it is what it be what it be. You know what I mean?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But again, it's the concept of people saying, yeah, fuck everybody, I'm gonna buy these 4 houses and later I'm gonna charge you for more. Like it's just like, man, fuck you. Like it's like scalpers, dude. It's like fucking scalpers, dude. Like look, I heard that the Switch 2 made a great sell or it was good in sales or whatever, which I think is bullshit because it's just the same hardware just done differently or whatever, as far as I know. But don't quote me. But I read that Target didn't let people do pre-orders. It's like you had to be here to get your thing, and you were only allowed 1 per person. Right? That's what I heard. And then I also heard that Walmart did have pre-orders, but they didn't allow more than 1 in your cart. And they would check like your credit card and all this other stuff. I think that's what they did. Where like if they registered that the same credit card was buying it, you wouldn't be able to buy another one.
Orders.
Yeah, exactly. So I've also seen people go to like Frankensons, because I've seen this physically happen where the people from the Pokemon shops, would bring in their giant pallets of like their stuff, and there's just people there just trying to grab stuff and be like, oh, I want to buy like this whole case, and then they'll try to resell it, or they're just trying to buy the whole case because their group of friends bought a whole case just to grab whatever cards it is. And it's like, can you guys at least fucking wait until everybody's got their turn or something? But no, people want to be assholes. People want to be like, oh, I want to make money, and it's like, okay, well, learn how to fucking resell. Instead of getting a license to sell this product, they'd just much rather be fucked up and buy the product and then be like, oh, I'm gonna sell it to you for $20 more. Like, man, fuck you, kill yourself. Sorry, shit. You know, like, it's in game, yeah. Just lose. Yeah. No, dude. It's people piss me off, and like, and it's always like, how do I explain it? With the housing stuff, it's always the people that are the most miserable that do that shit where they buy a bunch of houses and then they're like, oh yeah, I have 3 houses and I don't have to work anymore because I rent these out. And I was like, yeah, but you're making this poor person's life miserable, dude. Like Jeff Bezos makes so much money and he's only paying me $23 an hour. Like, if he could pay me a penny more, he probably wouldn't even notice. If he paid me $5 more, he probably wouldn't even fucking notice. Because it's like, there's so much money, dude. Like, and then also, like, why the fuck, bro, what the fuck do you need $7 million an hour for? Like, what? Well, like, I can't think of anything that costs so much that you need to make millions per hour to pay it off. Like, I don't. Maybe, you know what? Maybe that's my problem. Maybe it's because I don't know.
You think too small.
Like, yeah, because like. Again, but then no. Yes, see, no. Because look, first of all, I heard that the yachts are like super bougie and expensive, right? I don't know if you guys know this, but yachts go in the ocean. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere in this podcast, I've said you will never catch me alive or dead in the ocean. Never. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Never. So, fuck that. And then, second of all, why would I want a giant house that I'm not even going to be in because I have to be in all these business meetings and I have to be traveling to business? And I was like, what the fuck is the point of coming home to a giant house? Maybe it's because I'm poor. I've never had that experience of like, oh, I was just in Italy right now doing business and I had gelato and shit. Now I'm going to go home. I don't want my house to be small. Like, shut up. Shut up. Like, fuck, man. Like, I can't. Until some rich person shows me what it is to be rich and, like, why it's so expensive, I'm always gonna hate the rich. Like, I'm always. Like, is this, like, dude, like, there's no need for you to have that shit. I remember one time at 7-Eleven, dude, some older guy parked in the red line, and he was in a nice older Porsche. I'm talking about, like, this Porsche was, like, in the 80s. Well, it was an 87 Porsche something, right? Mm-hmm. And old man, that motherfucker could barely walk, all right? Came in, and he told me, hey, is your coffee fresh? And I was like, no, I can make you some new one because I'm the shit. I make you fresh coffee if I have to. He's like, how long is that going to take? And I was like, oh, like 10, 15 minutes. I was like, but yeah, it's going to be fresh. I was like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And I looked outside and I was like, damn, that's a cool looking little Porsche or whatever. But I wasn't like, oh my God. Like, I wasn't like I wasn't all wet about it. I was like, oh, that's cool. It was red. My favorite color is red. So I was like, oh, that's nice, you know? And all of a sudden, you like it? And I'm like, I guess it's red. That's my favorite color. I was like, no, but do you like the car? And I was like, I don't really care. It's a Porsche. Fuck do I care about? And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, it's a fucking Porsche. Like, it's just a car. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna take you from point A to point B just like any other car. And he's like, oh, you're one of those people. And he was white, so he was like older white with blue eyes and shit. So I was like, that's a slur to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I shouldn't be saying that because, like, look. But that's not the point. The point is, this motherfucker was like, oh, it's because you don't understand. And I'm like, understand what? And he's like, it's because I work hard for that car. And I was like, good for you, sir. Like, you spent your money and all this time buying a car that you're not going to get to take with you when you die. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do with it, you know? I didn't say that because I had to be nice or whatever. But he told me, yeah, like, I worked my ass off for like 20 years just to buy that car, this, and that. And he's like, it's my pride and joy. And when I say it like that, I'm like, okay, cool. Good for you, you know? I'm happy for you, whatever. You worked it. And he's like, and then he hit me with this. I probably could have bought it way sooner, though, but I had my fucking kids. I was like, wait, what? And he's just like, yeah, like my wife, she got pregnant, and then she got pregnant again, and then this and that. So like, I had to put money in this and that. He told me like he swear to God, he told me he much rather not have put money down like into like a bank so that his kids would have a college degree. He much rather had taken that money out and used it to buy the car. And I'm just like, oh, so you're just a shitty person as a whole, but okay. And he's like, well, like when you live the lavish lifestyle like I do, you'll understand one day. I'm like, first of all, motherfucker, like if I had kids, we talked about this one time, no? Like if I had kids, like I'm not buying myself a Porsche, motherfucker. Like I'm buying my kids what they need. Like I'm making sure that their future's set up. You know what I mean? Like, you feel me? Like,
yeah, like I've never understood, and like I've seen it more like I don't know, like in like people who are like older from other like generations and stuff. I feel like I never understood the concept of like, oh yeah, the old ball and chain, yeah, my wife or whatever. I was like, well, dude, you married her.
You chose this.
You can divorce at any time. You know that, right? You can leave at any time. If you're that miserable, you can leave. That is an option, right? And it's the same thing like with people who's like, oh yeah, my kids. So I'm like my bratty kids, or like, and it's like you. First of all, if they're bratty and stuff, you raised them. All right, that's you. Reflection, right? But it's like, if you didn't want kids, why'd you have kids? You know, like if you really didn't want kids and it burdened you, like either financially or like you didn't live your life or anything because you had kids, why'd you have kids? You know, right. And like obviously, you know, older generation stuff that was like you had to get married, you had to have kids. You know, it's like different kind of stuff. You know, and I get that, but at the same time, like if you're gonna complain so much about it, like, you know. I don't know. Maybe it's just like how Beto was saying. Maybe it's just because I'm not married. I don't have kids. You know.
It could be, or Mike. You know what? It could also be that you're just not a shitty person. Like, because when I was at 7-Eleven, I met so many people, and like you said, they were like, oh yeah, my wife, this and that, and it'll be men older than me, like 20, 30 years older than me, give or take, that are there at 3 a.m. to go work to feed their wife and kids and pay the house, and they're bitching and complaining. And I'm like, then why did you marry her? Why did you, like why? Like what? Like that's why I tell my parents right now, like my dad's name is gonna end with me because I don't want to get married. I don't want to have. Okay, we talked about this. I do and I don't.
Yeah.
Right? But it's not my priority. Like I'm my priority right now. You know what I mean? And like I really don't care. Like I don't care that people are like, no, you have to get married. No, I don't. I don't have to do shit people want me to do. You know what I mean? If I cannot have, I'm gonna put it to you this way. If I cannot have my own life, my own liberty, and my own pursuit of happiness, I don't want it. And that is the most American thing I'm gonna say today, guys. It is 7:02. We're done. No, I'm kidding. Imagine. No, I'm kidding.
No, we do need to start wrapping up because I do need to do homework. It is.
We do. Yeah.
I do need to do homework.
But yeah,
because I'm still trying to graduate.
Okay, guys, ladies and gentlemen. So to wrap it up, the housing industry shouldn't be an industry. It shouldn't be a business. That's for sure.
Yeah,
it sucks. That there should be checks and balances to, even it out and stuff. Yeah, sure. There should be some thing going on. You know what I mean? But the taxes we pay and all the bullshit, all of us should be able to afford something, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that may be. We all agreed it's better to have, if you have a family, then yeah, for sure, move out or whatever, as long as you want to do that. You know what I mean? There's always options. But with that being said, let us know what you guys think in the comments. Let us know what you prefer. If you're the type of people who are like, oh yeah, I want a mansion, a Bugatti and all that, you're probably like 15, 16. And you shouldn't be watching this, but whatever. Other than that,
but make sure to subscribe for 1,000 special for feet.
Oh yeah, the main takeaway, if you take away anything from this episode, guys, it is at 1,000 subscribers, the Unconventional Connection House with foot content.
We're all gonna go get a pedicure together.
We're gonna get a pedicure.
I'll even let you guys choose. I will let you. You know what? If we get to 500 subscribers, I will let you guys choose right now the nail polish you guys want me to wear. I'll go buy that shit. I don't care. I'll even put on acrylics. I mean, what?
Oh,
But anyways, that's been it for today, you guys. You gotta get going. Isidro needs to go handle his business, and I need to go to the restroom. So have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. It's been your host Beto, and then Isidro and Mike. Thank you so much, you guys. Have fun, and remember, subscribe.
Bye.
Later.